Hi there. Excuse the oversized coat here. Spring in the Midwest is a concept that doesn't always have temperature associated with it, so it's a bit chilly in my library. This is Whistle Basics 4, and I want to talk about how to get from note to note and getting a concept of having home keys, just like touch typing, for the instrument. By this time, you've figured out how to place your hands, and we've talked about thumb position and so forth, but how do you get from note to note? Let's say you're at a G here on this D whistle. This, by the way, is a Potter. I just got this. These come up on the secondary market, they are well worth purchasing. They're like generation whistles without the squeaking and chirping that you get sometimes. But let's say we have a G and I want to get up the scale. If I just blow pretty lifeless. We've talked about starting and ending a note, so starting a note with the tonguing, I'm still slurring to get from the G to the B. Now how about if I put a little tonguing between them? So just a little bit of accent between them, but still not accenting the back of the note. If I did that, I would get this. And I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for more of a legato sound, which is what you find more in Irish music. Now, when I'm going from note to note, it's key to get your fingers placed in the position that they want to be fairly quickly. And the way you do that is by thinking at least one note ahead of where you are. So while I'm playing this and I want to be here, I'm thinking A before I get to A, so that this finger comes up naturally, and if I want to go back down, it relaxes, but it closes firmly. Closes firmly enough that I can almost do this. Well, I can do this. If my finger was really tight, I can't do that. So this is something you can practice, especially going down the scale. If you go, try doing that's a bad finger for me. The concept behind this is that your finger is more relaxed as it's opening and closing. So when you're coming up, we can't do it on the coming up, but think about getting off the hole that you need to get to the next note above fairly quickly. So instead of, get off the hole enough so you're not shading it. Now I don't want to be up like this. When I started out, that's what I did. I was waving at the audience with my hands. You want to keep them in range so that you can get back up and down. Then you can, it's not actually so hard if your fingers are somewhere nearby. Now, because it's Irish music, there are going to be motions that you need to make with rolls, say, where you may want to accent a note like that, and you may need a bigger motion with your fingers, and that's fine as long as they return to some place that's nearby the hole, so that you can get from one to the other easily. I don't have the most economical hand motion. There are others who are just terrific at this. Mick Crean, who owns the Crane Bar, you can hardly see his fingers moving. He's doing all kinds of things. but I do try to keep my hands from flying too far apart. Now, the wonderful thing about playing a whistle is we're talking about intervals just in this one octave, but remember, by singing the notes, we easily get to the second octave. So just by singing up the notes, you can make those transitions easily too. So we shouldn't be scared of the second octave. We give it enough support to get up there. Remember to relax and get more in the O mode for the lower octave, and it'll stay relatively in tune with itself. And all the other things I talked about still obtain. You still want to get that emphasis at the start of the note. Consider not cutting off the ends of the notes too much. I used to do that more than I should have, and it affected my playing. Now, the one other thing I'll talk about is how you time one note to the other. Listen to the difference between this and this. So in the one case, I'm giving them equal value, and in the other case, I'm shortening the second note to get to the third. The reason that I think that's important is that's what gives jigs a lot of lift. So if you take a simple jig like the Kesh and you play it, it sounds one way. If you put that little skip into it that I just showed you, now it's got more of a bounce to it, and it'll move along better, and it'll have more lift. This is dance music. Dancers listen for lift, and it helps them to dance better. Well, I hope that helps. I'll be back with another basic lesson soon. Take care.